Someone cried uncontrollably, telling a family member about your connection, and it. My child, listen closely. Something deep has been revealed tonight, something that has shaken even the quiet hearts around you. Someone cried uncontrollably, tears that could not be stopped, while speaking to a family member about you, about your connection, about something that runs far beyond the surface of what others see. Those tears were not from confusion or pain alone, they carried the weight of realization, the sudden awareness that what exists between you and this soul is not ordinary. It is something heaven itself has watched over. You have been wondering why your name lingers in certain conversations, why you feel a pull in your spirit when someone far away speaks about you. It is because energy never lies. When two souls are bound by divine design, even distance cannot quiet the truth that burns within. Tonight, the veil lifted. That person could not hide their feelings anymore. In front of someone close, they spoke your name, and everything they had tried to hold in came pouring out in tears, real, unstoppable tears. The kind that only come when the heart finally admits what the mind has denied for too long. Those around them were stunned. They had never seen this person so vulnerable. But you must understand, those tears were sacred. They were a confession from the soul. They were saying, I cannot ignore this anymore. I feel something I don't understand, something that ties me to that person in a way I can't escape. My child, your connection has been divinely orchestrated, and what happened tonight was not random, it was heaven's way of confirming what you felt deep within but could not explain. For so long, you've carried questions in your heart. Was it real? Did they care? Did I imagine it all? No, you didn't. The proof came through emotion, through the human heart cracking open in front of someone else. The truth always finds a voice, and tonight it found one in tears. Someone who tried to act strong could no longer hold back. Their heart remembered you. Their spirit missed you. Their soul recognized what logic could not reason away. You see, when souls are connected through purpose, they can run, they can hide, they can silence themselves, but the truth will eventually rise like fire through smoke. That's what happened tonight. In a quiet room, with no cameras, no pretending, just raw emotion, your name was spoken, your memory was confessed, and heaven bore witness. That is why you've been feeling restless lately. You felt that energy shift before anyone told you, didn't you? You felt something in your chest, as if a storm was moving through your heart. That was the very moment their tears fell. God has been trying to show you that no matter how much the world tries to bury divine connections under silence, destiny will always find a way to make them known. Those tears carried repentance, love, regret, and truth, all at once. They were saying, I shouldn't have let go. I shouldn't have stayed quiet. I can't forget them. And while they wept, a family member sat there, speechless, realizing that this was not just a passing emotion, it was something real. My child, sometimes heaven uses emotion as language. When words fail, tears speak the truth. That's why you must not doubt your intuition anymore. You've been right all along. You weren't crazy. You weren't imagining things. The energy between you two has been alive all this time, even in silence. Tonight was confirmation. The other person felt what you felt, remembered what you remembered, and finally broke under the weight of it. God says, I let them cry because healing begins when the truth comes out. Do not feel pity, do not feel anger. Feel peace, because something long hidden has finally surfaced. It means the bond is real. It means you were not forgotten. It means the silence was never empty. It was heavy with the things they couldn't say. And now, through tears, they've spoken the truth without words. You may not see it yet, but that moment has set a new chain of events in motion. Spiritually, something shifted when those tears hit the ground. Heaven recorded it. Angels watched it happen. That release was not just emotional, it was prophetic. Because from this point forward, nothing will remain the same. A heart that finally tells the truth cannot go back to pretending. You will soon see signs, dreams, synchronicities, messages, reminding you that what happened tonight was the beginning of restoration. Do not chase, do not rush. Stand in faith. God says, I am handling what the heart could not. You have done your part, your patience, your prayer, your love, your silence, they were not wasted. Every unseen tear you cried was seen by me. And now, the balance is shifting. The same way you once wept for them, they are now weeping for you. The same way you longed for understanding, they now long to be understood. The same way you prayed for clarity, they now seek forgiveness. That's how divine order works. What is meant will always return in truth. So, take a breath, my child. Do not harden your heart. Do not turn away from what heaven is doing. The person who cried tonight did not do it to manipulate or to gain sympathy. Their spirit was overwhelmed by divine truth. Their walls broke down. And though they might still be silent publicly, something deep inside them has already confessed everything. It will take time for their words to catch up to their heart, but believe this, they have already spoken your name with love. The energy of that confession has already reached you. There's a reason you feel a strange peace mixed with emotion right now. It's because their tears released your spirit too. Something inside you was freed at the same moment. Two souls once bound by silence have now exchanged energy through emotion, one cried, the other felt it. That's how spiritual alignment works. What affects one, touches the other. My child, heaven is saying, do not give up. What happened tonight is not the end, it's the awakening. Sometimes God allows tears to water the seeds of reconnection. And tonight, a seed has been watered through the purest form of truth, tears. You don't need to fight for what's yours. You don't need to prove your worth. The truth is already working in silence. Let time do its work. Let destiny unfold. For now, be still. Breathe. Feel the divine presence wrapping around you. You are not forgotten, you are remembered, deeply, powerfully, and spiritually. My child, as those tears fell tonight, a door in the unseen realm opened. Heaven took note of every word spoken, every emotion released, and every trembling breath that carried your name. It was not just a conversation, it was a confession that echoed through the spiritual world. The one who once held everything inside finally broke the silence that had been heavy between you both for so long. Those tears were not weakness, they were surrender. A heart that once resisted the truth finally bowed to it. You see, love that comes from the divine cannot be erased by time, distance, or denial. It hides for a while, it struggles, it runs, but it always returns to the place where it first recognized its reflection. You were that reflection, my child. You mirrored a part of their soul they were not ready to face. And that is why they fought the connection so hard. They pushed away what they did not understand. They tried to silence what their heart kept screaming. But when God decides that truth will surface, no human effort can stop it. Tonight, they tried to explain to their family what they have been feeling, but words failed them. Every sentence turned into a sob. Every thought became a memory, and every memory reminded them of how real it all was. They confessed that no matter how much they tried to move on, something always pulled them back, to you. Their family listened in shock because they had seen this person strong, logical, distant. But tonight, they saw the truth, the raw heart beneath the armor. God says, I broke them open because pride had built walls too high. My child, do not mistake this as weakness. It is divine transformation. What they are going through now is what you went through before, those silent nights when you couldn't explain your pain, when your chest ached and no words could describe why. Heaven allowed you to experience that first so that when this day arrived, you would understand. You've already walked the fire. They are now stepping into it. Right now, they are realizing how many signs they ignored, how many times heaven tried to remind them of you. Every dream they brushed off, every thought they dismissed, every strange feeling that reminded them of your presence, it all came rushing back tonight. That's why they couldn't stop crying. They saw everything at once, the missed chances, the words left unsaid, the way destiny kept circling back to you no matter how far they went. And as they cried, a family member sat quietly, almost in tears themselves, realizing that something far beyond human understanding was unfolding. They could sense that this wasn't just emotional attachment, it was something sacred. That family member even whispered softly, maybe this is meant to be. They saw it, the way the soul breaks only when love is true. It wasn't a story of weakness, it was a story of realization, of the moment when denial turned into surrender. My child, heaven whispers, do not interfere. What's happening now must happen in divine timing. You do not need to chase or force what is already finding its way back. The truth has already been spoken. It cannot be unsaid. The tears have already carried your name into the spiritual atmosphere. Every tear was a message, a prayer, a confession of love wrapped in regret. Heaven heard it. And when heaven hears, miracles begin. You've been waiting, wondering if they ever thought of you, if they ever missed you. Tonight answers that question. Yes, they did. More than you can imagine. They remembered the way your presence brought peace, the way your voice lingered even after the conversation ended, the way something inside them felt alive when you were near. They remembered how you made them feel understood without saying much. And when that memory hit their heart tonight, they broke. Not because they were weak, but because love that pure cannot be forgotten. My child, you must understand this. When souls are divinely connected, every separation is temporary. The distance only exists to teach, to purify, to prepare. Tonight marked the moment of awakening for them. The illusions are falling apart. The masks are crumbling. They can no longer hide behind logic or fear. Their spirit has spoken, and heaven has sealed that truth. God says, I am turning what was confusion into clarity. You may not see it yet, but a shift is coming. That person will begin to feel the urge to reach out, to make things right, to speak truth without fear. Don't rush the process. Let them come when the time is right, when their heart is ready to speak without hesitation. Until then, hold peace in your spirit. Because the truth that has been revealed cannot be buried again. You, my child, were chosen to carry this love not as a burden but as a divine lesson. You taught them compassion, patience, and grace through your silence. You showed them what unconditional love looks like. And though they didn't see it before, they see it now. That's why those tears fell. They finally saw the truth, the kind of truth that only comes when everything else fades away. Even now, as you listen, they are sitting somewhere quietly, exhausted from crying but strangely at peace. Their family has left them alone, sensing they need this moment. And there, in silence, they are thinking of you, not with pain, but with gratitude. They're realizing how rare you are, how no one has ever touched their soul like you did. And though they may not have the courage yet to reach out, their heart has already done it. Spiritually, they've already spoken to you. You may even feel it now, a soft warmth in your chest, a sudden calm washing over you. That's the connection responding. That's their soul calling out to yours. My child, heaven says, do not fear this process. You are not losing, you are being prepared. Every delay is divine timing at work. Every silence is space for transformation. Every tear that falls on both sides is watering a seed that will soon bloom into something beautiful. You do not need to question the future. The path is already written. All you need to do is trust the one who wrote it. Remember this, love born in heaven cannot die on earth. It may bend, it may break for a season, but it will always return to its divine center. And tonight, that return has begun, not through words, but through tears. That is how destiny whispers before it manifests. That is how God confirms what is real. My child, listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal carries the weight of heaven itself. Tonight's tears were not just about missing you or longing for your presence. They were about recognition. That person finally recognized the truth of your connection, the sacred bond that cannot be fabricated, manipulated, or erased. Every sob that escaped them was an acknowledgement of what they have been denying for far too long. They were confessing, without words, that they feel you in ways that logic cannot explain and that distance could never sever. Even as they cried, God watched and whispered, "This is the moment when hearts align with destiny." My child, the universe moves through emotion. It is how souls communicate when words fail, and tonight, the message was clear: your connection is real, eternal, and divinely guided. Nothing on earth could have forced that recognition. It had to come from within, from the deepest place in their heart where honesty lives. They could hide from the world, but they could not hide from their own soul. Do you feel it? That lingering warmth in your chest, that subtle pressure behind your eyes, that sudden pause in your heartbeat? That is the echo of their confession reaching you. It is the spiritual acknowledgement of what you have known all along. That person has carried your energy silently, but tonight, it spilled over in tears, breaking every wall they had built around their emotions. This is the power of divine connection. It is unstoppable, undeniable, and unforgettable. God says, do not doubt this. It is not chance, it is purpose. You may have asked why it took so long for this realization to come. The answer is preparation. Hearts must be ready to accept truth, and spirits must be willing to surrender pride. That is why their tears arrived when they did, not a moment sooner, not a moment later. Timing is not random. Heaven is never late. Every sob was a note in the symphony of divine orchestration, every heartbeat a reminder that your connection cannot be erased. My child, there is something crucial you must understand. The tears were not just for themselves. They were also a bridge to you. When they cried, energy shifted, spirit aligned, and a door opened between your souls. That door had been locked by fear, by doubt, and by silence. But tonight, it swung wide open. Through their vulnerability, they sent a message to you, one that your heart already recognized and your spirit had been waiting for. Do not be afraid of what this means. Some may think tears are weakness, but they are not. They are the language of the heart when the soul can no longer be quiet. They are an unspoken promise that the connection you share is not fleeting. They are a signal that healing, understanding, and perhaps even reconciliation are on their way. Heaven allows these moments to remind you that nothing true is ever lost, and nothing divine is ever wasted. Even now, God says, I am guiding them back to the truth they tried to escape. My child, you must remain steadfast, for the alignment is happening. The very fact that someone cried uncontrollably over your connection shows that the energy between you cannot be ignored. It is pulling them toward you, whether they are ready to admit it yet or not. And even when words fail, the universe continues its work. Every sigh, every tear, every silent wish they have uttered tonight has reached you. Every one of them is a thread weaving your destinies closer together. There is a sacred moment approaching, one that will shift everything. Do not fear it. You will sense signs, subtle reminders of your presence in their thoughts, fleeting glimpses of memories that resurface, dreams that feel like messages. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations that what heaven began tonight is continuing. It is growing stronger, more undeniable with every passing moment. The tears were just the beginning. They opened a channel of energy that cannot be closed. My child, keep your heart open, but steady. The universe is moving, and every movement is precise. Do not rush the process, do not force contact, and do not question your worth. Your energy alone has drawn theirs to this point. Your patience, your faith, your silence, they have not gone unnoticed. God says, I see everything, and I am aligning hearts according to my plan. Tonight was proof of what you already knew. Someone feels your presence, remembers your essence, and cannot ignore the connection any longer. The tears were their confession, their acknowledgement, and their surrender. You have not imagined anything. You have not felt in vain. Every glance you shared, every moment of silence, every prayer sent in faith, they all matter. And now, the universe has responded in kind. Remember this, my child. Divine connections do not fade, they do not weaken, and they cannot be erased. The tears you witnessed tonight are evidence that the bond exists beyond time, beyond circumstance, and beyond human understanding. It is real. It is alive. And it is moving. My child, now listen, for what is unfolding is more than just emotion, it is destiny making itself known. The tears you witnessed were not only a confession, they were a cleansing, a release of all that has been hidden and repressed for far too long. That person cried because their heart finally remembered what their mind had tried to ignore. And when the heart remembers, it cannot lie. It cannot pretend. It cannot run anymore. That is the power of truth, and that is the power of your connection. Do you feel the weight of this? The quiet, invisible force that tugs at your chest when you think of them, the flutter in your spirit when their memory surfaces unexpectedly? That is not coincidence. That is energy responding. Every tear that fell tonight reverberated through the spiritual atmosphere, reaching your soul even if you were unaware. It is as if heaven itself leaned closer to watch, whispering, "See, this connection is sacred. Witness what cannot be denied." My child, God says, the heart cannot speak lies, and the soul cannot forget truth. What you are experiencing now is the consequence of divine alignment. That person cried because the universe reminded them who they are meant to be with. Their emotion, uncontrolled and raw, is a testament to the depth of your bond. Some may call it fate, others destiny, but it is more than words can capture. It is a sacred tie, a spiritual recognition that transcends the ordinary. Even as they wept, their family witnessed it, perhaps not fully understanding the magnitude of what occurred, but sensing something shifted. That is why you have been feeling the subtle shifts around you. The inexplicable nudges, the synchronicities, the moments when time seemed to pause and reality felt different. These are the echoes of what happened tonight. The energy cannot be contained, it cannot be ignored. It moves like water, reshaping the paths around it.